And we're back here on the show, and it's me, Hugh, and Christina's here, and Donna Messer is back on the show, and it's just great to see you, Donna.
It's good to see you, and it's a nice place.
You like this place?
Oh yeah, this is good. I love it.
Did you drive here?
I did, but I was on the 407 early this morning because I had a 9:30 meeting that I was doing a workshop for job skills over in Markham.
Right.
So I don't know if you heard about the traffic this morning.
No.
It was horrendous. There was a snowstorm.
Where?
In between here and where I was coming from in Oakville, and the traffic was unbelievable.
Oh, I did hear there was some lake effect storm in South Etobicoke.
It was unbelievable. You're in nothing, and then you've got snow, and you should look at my car. It looks like I've been in an unbelievable deluge.
Which is weird, because I didn't see any snow today at all.
Not at all. We were on the streetcar.
I was in... Trust me, it took me 2 hours to come from where I was to where I was, and
wow, weird.
So it was crazy.
No snow here.
But I'm thrilled. It was easy to get here. I just went straight down Woodbine.
And free parking, right?
Glad you made it.
Don't you love that? No downtown headaches to deal with.
I do. I really do love it. So I'm glad you moved.
Great. Anyway, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Now, do you want to start off? Because you brought us that little video. Why don't we... you're the networking queen.
Yes.
You said I could...
Canada, I've heard.
Well, actually, I'm really good wherever I meet people who feel like I do. So I'm not a networking queen if I meet someone who says, it's all about me. It's all about we. So this little video that you're going to see is called an animmercial, an animated infomercial. Okay. And it was done by a kid.
Yeah.
And I really like it. And what it does is it shows you who I am in 2 minutes.
Well, let's watch it right now, and we'll find out who you are, even though I thought I knew. But let's watch it, and then we'll come back and talk about it and you and networking and more.
Perfect.
Okay. Great.
I'm ready.
Awesome.
And so what I did was I scripted something, and I got it turned into an animated infomercial. And what I've done is I've turned it into an opportunity to create more business. So Animmercial, ANIMMERCIAL, is now a domain name, and I'm offering people who want to get their own animated infomercial to call me. So who's calling me? Franchises. franchises who are interested in raising awareness for who they are and what they're all about. And what I'm teaching people is that it's all about what's called native advertising. And native advertising is not selling a product, it is telling the story about the people behind the product. So if you can imagine you want to sell underwear.
Which I do, by the way.
Okay, good.
I want to sell my used underwear.
I'm sure that there will be a market for it. I haven't exactly known where, but I know that there will be somebody who wants that because it has
Hugh,
something.
especially.
Yes. I don't really.
In vending machines.
Yes. But really,
Yeah.
it is an opportunity. I mean, think of all the people you interview.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Yeah.
Think about if they had the opportunity to say, well, here's who I am. The girl that was here earlier, I didn't hear much about her, but I saw the fact that she created that calendar. That calendar is clever. Right? She could have that calendar with a little something or other, and all of a sudden she's got her own animated infomercial on, hey, look at me, I'm an accountant, and isn't this clever?
Now,
And I'd
okay.
like to sell millions of these pendants
See,
too. that
everybody's got a
everybody's
business,
got
right?
something.
Yeah.
That's the future, is people doing business for themselves.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But as you say, it's to collaborate together, where as together everyone achieves more.
Yes,
by
exactly.
what is it? It's all about the we.
Exactly.
It's all
so
about,
you want to sell your pendants. The best way to sell the pendants is to tell the story behind the pendant. You don't say, I want to sell my pendant, I want to sell my pendant. Let me tell you the story behind it.
Now, why does that sell the pendant?
Because people buy the story.
because it shows if this pendant was on 17 archaeological places around the world, including Egypt, Tibet, and Mayan world, and it's in your DNA, that's much more exciting than just selling a pendant. And it has a crystal that actually can activate that.
So if you had an animal that did that, that is not necessarily you talking it. It's the pictures that shows how that walks through all of those places, and the story is there, and then it's call to action.
Okay. Now, what I see the value of is not the animmercials per se, but it is that telling the story, and it's the crystallization of that story into, like, in that case, 2 or 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Right?
So what do you see the difference between marketing and networking? Because they're weaving those two together, the marketing of the story and the networking and net weaving with the audience.
I don't see marketing and networking as similar. I think when you market, you're marketing a product. When you're networking, if you do it my way, you're building a relationship between two people. You're not trying to sell product or service.
Right.
You know, if I'm here to sell a product, then Hugh's not real happy because he doesn't want me to be selling a product. I'm talking about something, and I think it's good, but that doesn't mean it's what I'm pitching. I'm pitching people, and I believe that the people I know are the people who make me successful.
So what is the purpose then? This may sound basic, but what is the purpose then of networking?
I believe that the purpose of networking is taking the time to really learn about people and to find out who you know that might add value to what the reason for networking is. I can give you lots of examples. You're asking me who I know that might come to your event on the weekend. In order for me to think about who I know that might come, I have to find out where the common ground is. So it's got to be in spirituality. It's got to be in, things that resonate with who you are. And I can't do a referral until I get to know more about who you are, so that when I say you should meet, here's the reason why. That's what I do.
So knowing the person that is going to be serving the others, like knowing Justin McMakin, who's putting on this workshop, and knowing about him and his niche market will help you find
Absolutely.
those.
And when we talk networking and we talk about who we know, we use the term social capital. And social capital is what you know about who you know. So if you really know Justin, then you will tell a story that pulls the story together. I met Justin we did such and such, blah, blah. Like you did this earlier on, you talked about T. Harv Eckert. Well, we both know T. Harv Eckert. So we could find common ground there.
Right, and the T stands for the.
Yes. Yes.
The Harbecker.
Yeah.
Like T. Donna Messer.
Like T.
Yeah.
Donna Messer.
Yeah, because mine is the Donna
The
Messer.
Donna
Yeah.
Messer.
Yeah.
The Donna Messer Show.
Yeah.
It's the Donna Messer,
The
not the Donna Messer.
It's the.
Because you are the Donna
But,
Messer.
yeah.
That's right. The. And if you were going to be on my radio program, Hugh,
Oh, yes.
you would be on
T.
Talk to Donna.
That's what it's called, Talk to Donna. So what's your radio show all about, Donna?
It's about people that I meet that I think have a good story to tell, and that story has never got out.
Yeah.
And so what I do is, because I have the opportunity to talk and to write and to promote, I find really good stories. So if you were to have listened on Monday, you would have heard me interview Maryse, Maryse, Carmichael. Well, what's so great about Maryse Carmichael? I'm not sure if you know anything about avionics or airplanes.
I know a lot about avionics.
Okay, so have you ever heard of the snowbirds?
Yeah, the Canadian...
The ones that go to Florida for the winter?
No, you're talking about the Canadian Air Force
Yes, the
stunt
stunt
group. Yeah.
She's the only woman jet pilot who's flown with the snowbirds. And I met her a number of years ago, and she was speaking at an event, and what she did was she showed a video from her helmet when she was flying number 2. Okay? And when I'm saying flying number 2, it's number 2 plane, Hugh.
Because I had a different idea.
I know.
Altogether.
I know.
Probably a different placement for the camera.
I'm thinking, yes. Anyway, but it was phenomenal. So when I heard she was coming back to Toronto, I said I'd like to interview her. So I did. And I think she's got a great story because she is the only woman who has done what she did, and she was the commander of that particular military attachment for 4 years.
Of the snowbirds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's a jet pilot and nice lady.
That's weird.
Wonderful.
You know, like you think about, Olympic sports, and you always have a women's category and a men's category, but to me, there's no reason not to have female pilots.
Well, it's so
Right?
interesting that you would mention that because I just read a little story about a guy handing on a WestJet flight. He wrote a note on a napkin to the female pilot. What are you doing in the cockpit? A woman does not belong in the cockpit of an airplane. And of course, she blogged the response, and WestJet supported the women in the cockpit of flying international airlines. And
Exactly.
And that she also is a mother, but she wrote a really great response to it.
Good. Well, ideally, I like to find out detail. So I asked my interviewer, what was the ratio when she started flying? And she said less than 4% were women pilots of any kind, not just jet, but any kind. 4% when she started. She said, we've grown, we're now up around 7%. Still not very good. So if you look at the ratios, why? Because it's a male-dominated profession. Military is definitely male-dominated. The military currently is looking to recruit more women. And they're looking to recruit more women in specific areas. And what they're looking for is something called influencers. So when we talk networking, are you an influencer? The answer is yes, if you know how you can use who you know to add value to the other side. So when someone says to me, Donna, do you know someone in snowbirds? Well, that's an influencer. There's a woman, and she was military. They haven't even thought about the fact that she would be a really good influencer. So I look for women who are an influence when it comes to making a difference. So it could be a politician, it could be someone who's in a particular sector. But if I can get them and I can interview them, I can get to know them, and because I have done something that is good for them, I can always reconnect with them.
Wonderful.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, Donna, okay, so you now.
value.
So what's new? It's been a couple of years, I think.
Yeah.
Seems since you've been on the show.
I think
and
so.
you're all about networking, and you're doing the radio show. Are you still doing the magazine? And
Yeah.
what else are you doing? What's new with you? And what's new with networking?
Okay, so I wrote a new book.
Show it. Hold it up.
Where do you want me to hold it?
Cycles of Life.
Cycles
Keeping
of
you on
Life,
track.
keeping you on track. Well, everybody should write a book, by the way. Have you written a book yet?
I'm in the process. It's on my
I wrote a few
wish list.
books when I was a kid, but I've never written one as an adult.
Okay, so this book is new, and what happened was I was invited to speak, and the people who invited me to speak said, we'd like to give everybody who's going to be in the room your book. And I said, okay, I've got a book. So I held up this one, which was a Canadian bestseller, because the Royal Bank of Canada bought enough of them to make me a bestseller. Now, the people who hired me for this other one said, no, we don't want that one. We want our own. So I had to write this one.
So what's that book about? And who's it for?
This is for anyone who is an entrepreneur or a small business. So it's actually the story of what I believe is cyclical. So everything that we do, regardless of our age, we cycle it. So Hugh, you like music.
That's
Okay?
true, I do.
Okay, so no matter how old you are, how young you were, music was an important part of your life.
Yes.
And you've found a way to integrate that music into whatever you do.
Yes, I have.
All right. So what's important for me is I've always liked people. I always want to know who people are. And so everything that I've done from day one is about getting to know people. So this is the story of how, as a little girl, I went to Simpson's Arcadian Court. Now, no one knows what Arcadian Court is.
I know what that is.
Okay. My grandmother ran Simpson's Arcadian Court. So as a 6-year-old, every Saturday I would get on the streetcar, and we lived at Danforth and Hampton, and the streetcar driver knew who I was. My grandmother had made this all arranged.
Those were the good old days.
They were the days when it was safe for a kid to go anywhere, and I would go to the court for lunch.
I think I know where that is. I worked at Simpson Sears.
Yeah, it's downtown. It's still there, but it's not what it used to be. And at the time that my grandmother ran it, there were men like E.P. Taylor, Fred Gardner. They were all really well-respected business owners who never had cash.
Yeah.
They would go to the court, and they would run a tab, and every business meeting would be held at the Arcadian Court. And my grandmother held them in her hand because she knew who had the money and what was going on.
Right.
And so she felt that I should learn manners. So she arranged for me to come, and I didn't know that every 6-year-old didn't have the opportunity that I had, but I went week after week after week, and it's in the book. So that's how I met people, how I learned to respect people, how I learned to recognize that it wasn't me that was important. It was the other person. She taught me the name of the streetcar driver.
Yeah.
She taught me the name of the elevator guy.
Right.
She taught me the name of the hat check girl and told me a little bit about each of them so that when I said hello, I'd ask the hat check girl how her feet were because I knew they were sore.
Yeah.
I'd ask the streetcar driver if his wife was feeling okay because she'd been sick the week before. I was programmed, but I didn't know it.
Yeah. You know, I noticed when you came in here today, before we came on the show here, you took the time and the trouble to speak to our young staff members here to find out a little bit about them and immediately switch into coming up with ideas that might be able to help them and that sort
Absolutely.
of thing.
It's DNA in me.
Yeah.
And it could be a problem for people because people will say, "God, you're pushy. Why are you so nosy?" Well, it's not that I'm nosy. It's just that I know if these kids like what they're doing here, I can show them how they can bring it to somebody else's attention who can say, "Hey, look what this school has brought out. Look what these kids are doing. Look where they're getting their experience." And it's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for me.
To help maximize their potential
Absolutely.
and monetize them as well, to give them more leverage in the world.
Leverage is key.
Absolutely.
This video that you're going to do with me, I'm going to leverage it. So I'm going to send it out with all my social media. I'm going to put it out, and I'm going to say why I did it, where I did it, and where the benefit is. I'm going to measure it.
Donna, do you mind if I ask you a question that might be a little bit outside of what we normally do and push the envelope a little bit? Because some of the things you said prompted me to do some thinking here.
Yeah.
Because I know what you do with the networking. You're helping people to do their stuff, whatever it is. Do what they love more, help with their business, help with all kinds of stuff.
Helping people help people.
But when when you were telling those stories about the good old days, and you know where you knew the name of the streetcar driver, where they had hat check girls, I think that career option is no longer available to people, right?
Gone.
There's no more hat check girls.
There's no elevator.
There's no elevator guys.
There's nothing.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm just wondering what's changed in our, because you're dealing with the micro, helping people at a micro level, and I don't mean that in small, I mean like microeconomics, right? Helping people do their business. But let's talk about the macro for a sec. What's happened to our society? Not that we don't have hat check girls anymore, but it seems to me in those days there was a place for everyone to serve,
to have that personal.
to be part of the community, to be part of the economic picture, to be part of a.
And having a job, regardless of what that job was sacrosanct for them.
If you wanted a job, you could have a job in those
Absolutely.
days. And now it seems it's like you got to work. Finding a job is a full-time job.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, I just came from job skills, and there were 9 people, all of whom are either going to be small business owners or they're going to have to find a job, and they're all new Canadians.
Yeah. So what's happened where it seems that the society as a whole said, we're going to find a place for everyone to, it seems these days it's like our culture is saying, you're all on your own, people. Good luck.
Or they're saying, we're going to support this because someone said that was good, and when you can measure this and that, there is no result, and you're thinking, hey, whoever you are, you spent your money in the wrong spot. I think sometimes they're not listening to the right people. You know, I think that I still have a very, very strong network, and it is at all levels. That doesn't mean I'm rich and famous. It just means that if you need to connect with someone, there's a possibility that I can find a way to get you there. That doesn't mean I'm going in the front door. It might mean that I got to climb the stairs, I got to go in the back window, I got to hang on the chimney. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find a way to help, regardless of what age it is. Because I believe there's a systematic process today in doing whatever it is that you need. I don't care how you got this studio, but I'm going to guarantee you that the process that you did is something that you have done in the past. Maybe you changed it around a little bit, but you still used the same systematic process that got you the results you needed.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have comfort. You know, you've come from British Columbia, which is a little different than Ontario.
I was born and raised in Toronto, so I've lived half my life in Ontario and the other half in La La Land in Vancouver and on the Sunshine Coast. And it's actually quite interesting because there's very different value systems.
Yes.
It's lifestyle there, and here there is a much more racy, I went to university, and that subject was effective persuasion at Ryerson for marketing. But very different values in British Columbia than there is in Ontario.
Absolutely.
And I had to adjust myself to that. And I found absolutely through networking and marketing of putting myself out there
Absolutely.
with whatever it was. But it's all about being of service. And what he was asking is, what I think has changed is that our values have changed somewhat, and also our technology has certainly, probably replaced people in some ways of not needing that check girl or the hat check girl and the persons on the subway, because people are very rushed. And
I think you have to look at the demographic. The Zoomers, the Boomers, the Gen Xs. You've got to look at things, because how I look at something may be entirely different than how these kids look at something. And, they might be missing out on something that nobody taught them. I, in turn, might be missing out on something because they haven't shared what they know. And so the answer is that I talk to the kids. I talk to people and I find out. Technology definitely is key. And if you're not online with everything, you're SOL.
So that's a big factor in your
huge,
for sure.
Huge. I use every bit of technology I can. Does that mean I'm good at it? No. It means that I have people who are in my network who will teach me or do it for me.
I think that's one of the things that has changed, Donna, when we're talking about networking, even in the couple of years since you were last on the show, is that the social networking, right? The Facebooks and the Twitters and the LinkedIns, and there's a million of them out there. That's really I don't even know if we talked about that the last time you were on.
I don't think we did, Hugh. I think that it was there, and we were probably on it, But I don't
Right,
think
but we
were
didn't-
using it.
No, we weren't, and we were
So
networking
now-
was something a little bit different,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was more the face-to-face thing, and I know you put on the face-to-face events and stuff like that, but
See, I love that, the networking events where you actually have that connection with people. Now, so much of it is social networking. So where do you, how do you use social networking in your own business?
I use social networking all the time. Every event that I do gets sent out. We video,
Gets
we
tweeted.
we tweet it, we do everything. I have hashtags. I make sure that whatever I'm going to be doing, I tell everybody in the room. Lots of them do selfies.
even Obama did a selfie.
Yeah, I can do my selfie. But I think that the face-to-face, I think it's still around, but the people who are getting most from the face-to-face are the ones that are doing the meetups, and the meetups are free. So, the people who are coming...
Do you have a meetup group?
No.
No.
I charge for everything. And the reason I charge is that that's my business. So meetups are very good. And it's, you want to meet a bunch of people who all wear high heel shoes. So everybody comes with their high heel shoes. You don't sell them anything, they don't buy anything, but you can compare your shoes. You're looking at me.
I want to be at that meeting.
Checkout girls are at that
I
meeting
have
with
not worn them. Although there was a picture in the paper the other day of some guy on Bay Street walking down the street in high-heeled shoes.
And was there a story about why he was walking?
Yeah, it was to support
Yes.
some women's thing.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
I bet you he walked a little strangely.
Well,
No doubt.
he walked like a...
There's
A guy in high heels.
There's probably
Yeah.
a meetup group for everything.
Yeah.
So then there's meetup groups online. It actually started after 911.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with meetup groups. They're excellent ways to get to know people. And what happens is, from a meetup group, there will be a group of people who say, well, we really would like to. And then that seems to grow, and they start to see if they can measure results. I get invited to many of those groups if they're looking to measure a result.
So you're results oriented.
Yes.
Which is good. All about taking action.
Yeah, and I'm an accountability person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play if I don't know that there's going to be something that I can say, here's the result.
Which is what this day we're doing on Saturday is. Justin McMakin has a Vision Discovery Day, which is people that have very great visions and need to now put it into action. They've talked about it. They might be spiritual people that don't have any money. They might, they're actually people that have very clear visions. It's now time to write it down and take it to action.
So the vision is going to be directed to the goal.
Exactly.
Okay, so PricewaterhouseCoopers, you know that company. Their head office is in Oakville. They have just done something that is spectacular, and it is on leadership. And I got the video yesterday. It's amazing. So it is women from PwC, from Africa, from France, from all across, from Russia, and it's talking about leadership. And what they're doing is they're offering you being the masses, the opportunity to take a picture and talk about what leadership and what your vision is. And if you win, you get to sit down with the president of Google.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
And then and just be with the president of Google. What would that do for someone?
well, in my case, it would give me some wonderful opportunities because I would interview that person. I would be part of a conference. I would really maximize if I was able to win that. Now, can I win it? Probably not. But will I win with what they have sent out? Absolutely, because what am I doing right now? I'm talking about it. I posted it on Facebook. I sent it out on Twitter. I don't work for PricewaterhouseCoopers. I just like what they're doing. Now, PricewaterhouseCoopers is checking their name to see who's doing what, and my name's coming up. Who is this woman? Geez, I know we better check her out.
Yeah, so you're going to... But you're just
Sure.
doing it, you're not looking for any return,
No,
right?
no.
You're just doing it to help.
I like what they stand for. I
Right.
like what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile. Congratulations, PwC. Now, that doesn't mean that PwC is not going to come back to me because I used to train their women.
Yeah.
And that was a few years back. There will be people who say, I know her. My God, is she still alive? Or they might say, we should talk to her. Maybe she can help us with such and such. Who knows? But I didn't do it for that. I did it because I liked what they were doing.
Okay. So now, what, what's your networking, but what's your business? Or, like who should get in touch with you and what will you give them back besides networking?
Okay, so what's my business?
Yeah.
I teach people how to achieve their goals without spirituality. It's down to earth, cut the crap, tell me what you want, and I will do it. Mm-hmm. But I hold them accountable, and they have to pay. So I have something called Power Team. A Power Team, if you join it, you are accountable, and you show up every Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And from 7 to 9, you are with a group of people, all ages and stages. We have new grads. We have executive vice presidents for large corporations, but they all have something they want to achieve, and they've hit a wall. They just haven't got there. Mm-hmm. So we brainstorm, we being me and the team, and I make them help each other.
It's interesting how you say without spirituality.
Well, the only reason I said that was I don't normally bring that into the mix.
It seems to always fall in there somehow because if you look at
Donna, in the future, like we won't have money, we'll just have hugs.
Yeah.
Hugs are free.
Yeah.
But then even if we hit that wall, is it something within the self that's blocking that next step?
Quite possible, but I don't have that area of expertise.
That's not your, yeah.
So then I would say, I know someone who has that expertise. Can I make that introduction?
Right.
Then
Maybe you
it
need
would
a
be to you.
rebirthing.
No, but that would
Right.
be something that
Yeah.
I might be able to refer. I don't want to be what I'm uncomfortable being. So my comfort level is in this area. If I'm over here and you can do it and you're willing to do that for me, hey, good.
Okay, so basically, if people are watching this right now, if they are trying to do something, trying to run a business, trying to...
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I write books.
Yeah.
I write really good books, okay? I want everybody to write a really good book. So I'm saying, I want you to write a book. So I've got a workshop called Write That Book, okay?
Yeah.
I'm taking a dozen people, and I'm going to give them 60 days of my time. 60 days. They're going to come in for a day. We're going to get the book figured out on what it's going to be. And they're going to have 30 days to write that book. I will coach them on a daily basis, if necessary, on what's going into that book. This is not a novel. This is, I'm an expert in my field, and I'm going to share it.
Right.
I have a book somewhere here, and I think she kept it. Damn. Yes, the girl borrowed it and she didn't give it back. Anyway, it is a woman who wrote a book in 30 days who's part of my Power Team. Her name is Judith Kirkness. Now, she was an expert in everything to do with product recall. I don't know anything about product recall, but she was an expert. And she said, Donna, I'm not making the money I should be. I said, well, then write the damn book. Oh, I've never written a book. I said, well, write it. And what we found out was that she is an expert, and she's an expert in traceability. And traceability is, if there's a product recall, how do I find out where it originated? So if it's a food product or a pharma product, who grew it? What did they put in the soil? And this is all documented, and she writes about it. So she got her book done in 30 days, she got it published in 60, and she got her first paid gig in 90.
How much does it cost to be in this workshop, Donna?
For you, Hugh? No, I'm thinking it's $800,
Yeah.
$797, something like that.
Yeah.
But that gives you, and I shouldn't say but, that gives you 60 days. From the 22nd of March to the 24th of May. You meet with me for 2 days, and I will guarantee, first of all, I'll edit your book. I will write the foreword for you. I will get the people who, if you're writing a book on the importance of rebirth, then you want people who are going to read the book and quote and you can put it on the back page. So you need all of the things that give you the visibility. I will show you how to get it on Kobo, on Amazon, how to get it printed on demand, and how to write the media releases and do your launch. Because I've already done it.
And there's money.
And there's money.
At the end of that rainbow, right?
That's right. There's money. See, the people...
So will you do it on contingency?
No. No. I don't do contingency. And I tell everyone that contingency doesn't work. Mm-hmm. I call it on the if come. If money comes, you get it. I don't do that. If somebody doesn't have any money, it's not my fault. And people will say to me, look, I can't afford you. Can you come? And I'll go, when you can afford me, call me. And it's not that I dislike them, but I have to pay my bills. Yeah. And it's like walking into the car dealer and driving the car out and not paying for it.
Can I have this car? I don't have any money. Can I have
bring
this
it.
car?
It doesn't work. This is a business that you're running, Hugh.
Yeah.
If you run this business and everybody who comes in here says, I don't want to pay. I just want to take whatever I can get from you. Yeah. Well, you're going to say that for a while, and eventually you're going to say, well, wait a minute. I need to make a living here. I've got to pay for this space.
And more.
Kids that I've got to handle. So what people have to recognize is, and I think this is the key, just because you're not the big guy doesn't mean that you don't have to get paid. So I make sure that everyone knows that I'm available. Yeah, and I'll talk to you, and I'll give you some free time. You can walk into my office and you can have some time with me. But don't waste my time. Don't pick my brains and walk away and never, ever let me know what you did.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
So, Donna, I'm assuming, I have a suspicion that if we talk much longer, there's more and more stuff that you do. So you do the Write the Book, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Is it all on a website or your website?
It's working on the website, Hugh. My webmaster is currently in India.
Yeah.
So it's we're Skyping, we're getting things done. It's not all done.
It's never done. A website is never...
It's never, ever finished.
It's a creation.
What I'm doing is I'm getting you to write the book.
Yeah.
I'm getting you to be comfortable becoming a speaker. I'm teaching you how to write the media release from somebody else's perspective, because you do not write your own media release. It's awful. It just looks like you're selling something. I teach you how to write articles that will get you into the publications who will hire you or use you for your events. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole strategy, and the strategy starts at A and it goes to Z. And there's never, ever an ending. But each step you take, you should be able to say, it cost me this much and I made this much.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that in today's world, it's not like it used to be. So people who say, I'm going to be a small business owner, well, they don't have 2 years of money to put aside to become a small business owner. They've got to be successful now.
Yeah.
There is only now.
That's right. So if they can't be now, somebody's got to teach them now. And most of the people who are teaching, and I'm not knocking the teachers, they have the book that was written 25 or 30 years ago. It's not relevant anymore because it's today. I work with these kids.
Yeah.
I can show them how they can make money today. Do they want to make money today? It depends. The ones who do, they're going to listen to me, and they're going to come to me, and they're going to say, son of a gun, why didn't you teach at my school?
Well, I wish we had more time, and then we could just talk about how to make money today.
I'm curious as to what a Rotarian is, because you had that on your...
A Rotary is the largest service club in the world.
Okay.
And as a Rotarian, you sign an agreement that says, I will help people. You spend a great deal of money to belong to Rotary Club, and you look at all kinds of initiatives, and you choose the ones that are comfortable for you. I happen to like kids, so everything that I do for Rotary is directed around youth. So I teach them how to be better speakers. I teach them how to do stuff that they're uncomfortable with. And they come to me, and they listen. And they do what I tell them, and they measure the results.
And they're probably very successful.
Yes, they are. One young man, I asked him what he wanted to do, and he said, I want to be Prime Minister.
Oh, that's my son.
Yeah, well,
No, it was Stephen Harper.
Oh, he went to Northley.
this kid was he was in grade 11, and he said he wanted to be prime minister. He's now a graduate of McMaster University, and he spent last year in Washington. He is not the prime minister yet, but he set his goals. And he has kept in touch with me. And every time he said, I want something, who should I go to? I have thought about who I know. I've made the introduction. He's followed up, done it. And he's done it. I have not. But I've given him the steps.
Okay, Donna. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you, where do they go? And when do they listen to your radio show?
Okay, my radio shows are they're posted on my website. My website is ConnectUsCanada.com.
ConnectUs Canada.
ConnectUsCanada.com. And everything that you want to know is on my website. You can listen to my blogs. You can go on my YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. You can check out my Facebook. You can go to LinkedIn. They're all there. Even some of our old broadcasts that you and I did, Hugh.
Which were phenomenal.
They were fun.
Maybe not as good as this one right here and now, but...
This one's really good. I'm coming back, by the way.
Okay, good.
But I'm also going to interview you on Talk to Donna.
Okay.
So you have to let me know when you are
Oh,
available.
you're going to interview me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that.
Good, good.
Okay.
So I need a picture,
All right.
and I want 10 questions that you would like to cover when we're talking.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks,
great.
Donna.
Thanks, Donna.
Nice to
It was
meet you.
wonderful
And
to
let me
meet you,
know
too.
how many people you need, and I'll see who I know.
Oh, great. We'll
Okay.
do that. Let's talk.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So that's it for the show, by the way.
Oh,
Donna was our
wow.
last guest.
That was a great way to end.
I get to go to lunch.
No, it's lunch with Donna.
So we're just going to say thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time
Thank you.
here on thatchannel.com.
Thanks, Hugh.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.